describe it, and then a Cursed keeping him alive. Like, completely outpicked right now. I don't care that you have Swiftblade and Puppet Master as your 3-4 on T7H. I feel that 4NX, just huge survivability, huge damage over time type characters. The Behemoth Valkyrie, though, oh no. I mean, you're looking at great survivability right there. I would have liked to have seen a Soul Reaper and maybe a Jeraziah or something trying to keep people alive. A Curse can solo, Soul Reaper Jeraziah can lane. Oh no, wait. I don't know. Lanes might not have been the greatest there. It might have been a bit funky, but you would have had 3 heals, some preventative damage, and 2 great damage over time carries. But instead they went with the old Valk ES lane, a heavily used strat in Dota, so Cap, I'll let you touch on that in a little bit. I guess not the worst. I just feel maybe it wasn't the greatest to synergize with their current lane setup. And a 5th pick coming in for T7H as Kraken. So what I see here is Swiftblade spinning off of a Kraken ult, Slither ulting, Slither dotting, and Plague ulting. So a lot of AoE if they do get caught in the Kraken ult. Kraken, of course, not the greatest lane control, probably going to be laning with, I want to say, Slither, because I would assume the 600 range Plague Rider is going to be with Swiftblade, and they're going to run Plague Swift, but they may go Slither and Swift and then just run a Plague Kraken, because Plague Kraken is much more common. It's hard to tell, but Puppet is going to be mid, and I'm sure Defiler is going to be mid for 4NX. You're going to have the Valk Behemoth top, and then a Cursed, of course, keeping Corrupted Disciple alive on bottom, allowing him to farm freely. Now, the Valk ES, do you want to go ahead and touch on that for me, Cap? Or
Yeah, it was actually one of my favorite combos running in Dota. Basically, what happens, you got Behemoth. Excellent nuke, but it's such long range. Typically, when you're laning, if you hit it at the end, typically the person that you're laning with can't necessarily get there in time to get his nuke off of as well. But Valk's advantage here is that her stun arrow is going to do. It's going to be a longer stun the farther away she is. So Behemoth is going to be able to throw that stun such long range, get a stun off. Valk follows up with her arrow. They combo those stuns so easily because hitting a target that's not moving is going to be so easy for Valk. So she's going to get that double stun off with Javelin. She's going to do a leap, giving Behemoth possibly enough movement speed to get in a couple hits. And then she's going to follow up with Starfall and all of that auto-attacking damage. So, and then on top of that, it's a really high survivability lane. Of course, the squishy Valk has that leap, and then Behemoth is normally pretty tanky enough to live through these lane fights. So I gotta say, like you said earlier, it's not the best for what they're going for right now. I guess they just wanted some really strong lane that could go against this Swiftblade Plague Rider lane that T7H is going to be trying running. But yeah, I gotta say, Kraken is gonna be a little interesting if they get a Kraken ult off and he catches Behemoth in it. Behemoth popping his ulti once Kraken does that. Could be a little devastating for T7H, but I think in the end they have that larger amount of AoE, both with Slithers and Swiftblade and Plague Rider. I think in the end their AoE is going to come out on top.
well, we'll see how it all plays out. We have Defiler in mid against Puppet. I was actually wrong. I was thinking Corrupted Disciple would be playing against or Corrupted Disciple or Curse would go bottom, and instead they actually went top, which is fine. You're going to probably counterward the pull spawn, and a Cursed is just going to be pulling as soon as possible. That's what I would expect. And interesting to note here, Behemoth on bottom with the Invis, probably going to try and wall off Swiftblade when he comes up to farm, not allowing Plague to really get up there and help too easily. And of course, it's instead of it being a 1 or to 2 second stun, it's going to end up being an 8-second stun because the wall is going to put him on the opposite side where Val can easily just wail on him. Now, Behemoth never getting the ult off there, or not the ult, the fissure off there. Now taking a little bit of damage from Plague. That bottom lane, it's going to be very interesting to see how it plays out. Behemoth really cannot overcommit here and get too close to try and farm the lane because Swift's just going to spin on him. And at the same time, if they try and slow Behemoth and Behemoth is 300-400 range away, he might be able to wall himself off or at least get the wall up to where Swift is not going to be able to get to him if he spins. So Behemoth sometimes used as like a soft counter to a Swiftblade lane. and we'll see how it works out. I don't think it's really that viable, but some teams do. That might have been another angle they had, hoping to put Behemoth and Valkyrie bottom. Right there. Ooh, there it is. I was going to say, I was going to expect the spin, and Behemoth really just going to go down there. Bad positioning by the Behemoth player. I believe that was Dumbbats. Well, definitely making a Dumbbats play there. Sorry to have a terrible pun, but just really bad positioning. It's very hard for a melee to farm a slow plus Swiftblade lane, and especially Plague. Plague is 600 range, huge nuke range. I believe the nuke has a range of 600, if not.
Sorry,
700.
up at top, Slither actually going down. Sorry to cut you off, but Kraken cleans up a Corrupt Disciple kill. But in the end, Slither overextended himself a little bit too much. Corrupt Disciple threw his nuke. On top of that, Curse threw his nuke. Slither went down, but Kraken got the corrupted kill. So 1-1. A little interesting team fight there. I didn't exactly expect things to do such action so early in the game for this lane, but yeah.
Something interesting to note is that Accursed putting a shield on himself before Slither attacks him.
Slither
it's
actually
not going
going
to
to
negate the
try
dodge.
to take Accursed. All they need is charge. There it is.
Oh,
no,
the shield might
goes
save
off.
him.
Oh.
The shield saves him at 18 HP. Really well done. Something else to note: Slither taking down, or Slither and Corrupt Disciple trading, really not the best for 4NX. You really don't want your carry to die early. It's just a no bueno situation, man. You can't allow Corrupt Disciple to go down like that. The whole reason a curse is there is to keep him alive, and obviously, you don't expect him to go down, but you got to get those shields, you got to get those heals, and you can't be caught so far out of position where you're still going to go down when a curse has that much, stuff on you. And right there, Fire Shielding Corrupted Disciple, I believe Amingo might have DC'd there. No, he's just sitting there taking damage for no reason. Amingo, where you at, boss? You gotta wake up, drink some coffee. But in mid here we have Defiler, almost going down to well-played Puppet by QOT. Interesting to note, QOT normally does not solo, so maybe just because it's Puppet, which I haven't really seen T7H run a whole lot. Oh, now Puppet Master getting low. Flash going off, but it's going to be canceled by the Siege Creep. Terrible luck for QOT. Really needs to watch the Creep AI on that. He should have seen that Siege Creep coming in. I mean, it still was a bit unlucky. He should have been out of range, but at the same point in time, back away before you flask, boss. Or health potion, excuse me. Yeah, and top, for some reason, I don't see Kraken. Did he have to go back as a low HP? I would assume so.
Yes, he did. After that, I believe after that Corrupted Disciple did all that damage to him, he actually had to go back. So, down at bottom, though, some sort of action. They're going to try and get a slow off on Behemoth. Behemoth gets the stun off before Swiftblade can spin, so nice play.
Nice arrow
Other
by
arrow.
Valkyrie. And they're not going to follow up on it?
Yeah.
I think, what level is her nuke? Oh, level 1. She got level 1 everything. That's understandable.
Yeah,
definitely needing
need
that quick
late.
leap.
Yeah.
So,
But,
Behemoth...
not sure if you saw that, but Plague Rider doing a double pull on bottom, taking pulling to the mid neutral creeps and then eating a tango and then pulling up those top neutral creeps. You see them; they're already stacked pretty heavily. So so hopefully we're gonna see Swiftblade gonna clean up that top neutral stack, and then meanwhile they're actually taking out whole entire waves by pulling that way. So really good play by Non-Vidius. Love seeing him on support.
Yep. Nvidius, really one of the most underrated support players in the game. What's so interesting about him, though, is he still can play semi-carries and carries. Of course, not his best role, but definitely his Vindicator, one of the best we've ever seen, if not the best. And yeah, just you're better. And you know what? I'm not gonna lie, Cap. You are my favorite support player of all time. Capitalist is the man when it comes to giving me creep kills when I'm farming that Mage Bane. Oh yeah.
Oh.
But nevertheless, we do have Puppet Master in mid, CSing pretty well. Let's take an overall look at it though. Yeah, he's 23-11. Defiler 18-4. Now 24-11. Gold per minute, a little higher than Defiler's. Yeah, looking pretty solid, but nothing too drastic here. So the mid battle, T7H is winning. Top, I believe Corrupted Disciple is still doing pretty good. He might have had that early death, but I think he's kind of recovering from it relatively well. Kraken with just such poor lane control, in my opinion. Not going to be able to do a whole lot, even with Slither, who's got the wards of Ultimate GG. Probably the most imbalanced thing right now. Oh, look at those ward swaps by Sexy. What a terrible thing to have to deal with. Look at how much damage Corrupt Disciple's taking.